Hello, this is Misha Bland. I'm doing a safe work instruction for a truck pre-start at Thunderbox mine site. Where we start off with our critical risks. Then we come down to our skills, knowledge and competency. We have our personal protective equipment that are needed. We also have our hazards that we may incur. This is about the document and our references. So we have a management plan, a pre-start checklist and entry data. We'll start off with the general duties. So our general duties of all personnel: to rectify unsafe conditions, report unsafe conditions as soon as practicable, to satisfy themselves to the safety and equipment, machinery, vehicles and appliances, to advise fellow employees of these conditions, to report any defect in or damage to the vehicle in which we are operating. All personnel within the footprint of a vehicle must be locked out and wear full and correct site mandated PPE, which involves our hard hat, gloves, protective eyewear and longs worn on site as a standard. Number 2, the duty of a person operating or using heavy equipment. Equipment shall be inspected prior to use to ensure safety to operate. Defects must be reported. Equipment shall be inspected and stated below and the inspection documented. Pre-start checks are not to be conducted on loaded vehicles. Pre-start checks shall be documented at the time of inspection to indicate if the equipment is safe to operate for the upcoming work. Fault categories are as follows. So category 1 fault: the vehicle must not be operated. Supervisor must be notified immediately. Category 2 fault: the medium level vehicle repairs must commence within the 10-day period. Category 3 fault: the vehicle repairs must commence within the next service or within 3 weeks. When completing the pre-start checks on heavy equipment, check for the following unsafe conditions on the ground and rectify prior to operating the heavy equipment: people, unsafe ground, other vehicles and any other hazardous situations. When completing the pre-start check and visually checking under the truck trailers, be conscious of the head height, hot parts of equipment, stored energy. If there are defects identified that do not affect the safe operation of the equipment, they must be documented in a report, and clearance to operate the machine must be granted by the supervisor at the workshop. If there are any defects identified that render the equipment unsafe or inoperable, the report must be marked as such, the vehicle tagged out of service and supervisors informed immediately. Any defects identified must be recorded and reported in a work request book and handed in to the workshop supervisor. Road train pre-start on the walk-around inspection. First, we must isolate the machine before performing any pre-start inspection. Apply your half to your lock and person danger tag. All persons working on the equipment must be locked on. First, we'll raise the bonnet. Following steps: unlatching the bonnet, securing clamps on each side of the bonnet. Proceed the front of the truck and remove the toe pins, the bull bar securing bolts. Ensure the strap is secured between the bonnet and the bull bar and is in good condition, free from rips, tears and other defects. This step is a part of your pre-start inspection. Gently lower the bull bar and the bonnet to be pulled into a raised position while the bull bar is descending. Get assistance as the bull bar and bonnet combination is heavy. This is a 2-person lift. There will always be another person or fitter available to assist. So note, as this bull bar passes the point of balance, ensure that you are standing clear and position one hand on the bull bar and one hand on the bonnet ready to restrain the bonnet as the weight comes off the strap. Engine bay inspections. Visually check fan belts, hoses, ensure that they are all good. check for the oil, water, air and fuel leaks. Check engine oil, coolant level and report to supervisor if oil or coolant is required. When you are closing the bonnet, push the bull bar up and gently push the bonnet. Also get assistance as the bull bar and bonnet are very heavy. This is also a 2-person lift. Remember to keep the weight of the bonnet on the strap to avoid a shock load to your upper body. Bonnet will lower with the bull bar being pulled back in position. Secure the bull bar, towing pin, locking bolts. Secure the bonnet clamps on each side of the truck. So trailer and dolly inspections. Complete all items on the Cube 103 pre-start checklist. Faults found under the below categories need action accordingly. Category 1 is truck not to be operated. Category 2, truck must not be operated unless fault is rectified or approved and initiated by a supervisor. Category 3, truck may be operated. Corrective action is required. Report to your supervisor. On board, so check all your handrails, your steps and security of your hoses and your Susie coils. In-cab check. Check truck monitor panels, the mirrors, your windows, seat belts and lights. Start the machine. Check the truck, monitor again your brakes, your steering, all your hydraulic functions and fill out your pre-start. Check using correct method and electronic via the tablet. Prior to operation of the heavy equipment, these horn signals must be used to notify other vehicles or pedestrians in the area of the intention to move the equipment. So 1 horn is to start, 2 horns is to go forward, 3 horns is to go into reverse. Remember to always drive to the conditions. These are just the shims that we have been updated, the documents that are used, and the steps that we need to make sure that we're according to the procedures. This is our risk matrix. Make sure that we're respecting the hazards that could be there and also all the controls that are in place, what the risk is at the end of the day of all these ones. Same again. Same again. This is where we sign off once we've read it all and understand it. Okay, hello, my name's Misha. I'm going to do a pre-start on a road train. This is for the Cert 4 training and assessment for TSA. So we're going to start off with what we need in safety wise. So we need our PPE, so all the uniform that we've got on, we've got a hard hat, gloves, safety glasses and our boots. Then from here we're going to isolate the vehicle and attach our lockout. We'll also make sure that we're securing the road train with chocks. And now we're going to test for dead. So when we enter the vehicle, make sure we have 3 points of contact in and outside of the cab. So from here we've got the ignition, we'll turn it on and it's got no light, so it's good to go. Okay, now we're going to do the under bonnet check. So we've got our time set bar, which will undo the bolts and we will undo the latches to the bonnet. tyres are good. No major cracks or chucks out of it. You don't want steer tyre blowing on it. Also going to check the suspension. Make sure that there's no cracks in there. No brake line leaks or anything. We've got our fan belt fan in there. Make sure that it's not cracked. No chunks out of it or blades missing. We've got a coolant, make sure that's at a good level. Also got our turbo with our hoses, make sure there's no splits or loose, they don't pop off. Make sure there's no other leaks or anything that may indicate you've got an issue under there. You come on the other side. Check the steer tyre, the suspension, and check the oil. Make sure that's at a good level. Good. As well. Sure we've got nothing else. All hoses are connected, no cracks or leaks. That's so good. Okay, so from here, all on bonnet is good. No category 1 faults in it. So now from here we're going to do the walk around and we're going to check the tyres and any damage or boosters or swing back damage. Here we see, make sure we're connected, make sure that we've got all of our steps are good, handrails are good, all of our hoses here, hydraulic, air, electrical. Grease pot over there, make sure they've got grease in it. Rams on the doors. Yeah, they're good. Pin connections are secure. No leaking of hydraulic oil. Hoses are all connected. Make sure that your turntable is also connected and it's all locked in place. No cracks in the bolts or anything, so that doesn't rip off. Through here we got airbags. We've got all of our suspension as well. Make sure there's no loose, nothing loose under there. Tap the tyres, make sure that they've got a good bounce to them. Check the wheel nut indicators, make sure that they are all connected. Also no leaks, make sure that the hubs are all good. Make sure we've got all of our mud guards are good, they're all connected. Lights as well, they're all good. We do have one missing, so I need to get that looked at in the workshop. Make sure you've got no damage as well. You can see the legs are up, make sure they're up. No spare tyres. Again, spring packs, if you go through there, you could see that they've got leaks on there. Make sure there's no cracks. If you've got more than 3 of those cracked, it's a replacement. At the back, same thing, you've got rams. Make sure they're not leaking, pins are in place, hoses are connected, gooseneck is also secured, no cracked bolts or anything in the neck itself. Again, lights and all your mud flaps. Your boosters at the back here, make sure that they are still on, not hanging down. And then continue on all the way through down to the end. This one here we've got a missing mud guard, that will have to be replaced as well before it goes on road. And also check for any rocks that might be stuck in between your jewels, that's another one you've got to watch out for. indicators missing, you'll need to re-torque them. Make sure that they're not going to fall off. On there. If anyone that wants to overtake you, make sure that they realise how long you are going to overtake. Okay, so we've finished the walk around, it was all good. So now we're going to go and un-isolate it, we're going to start her up, and then we're going to do another walk around for the lights and for air, any air leaks that may be there. Okay, so we're going to do one beep for start.
17 on the
back there we've got a series of small hoses on the very far left. They are your air hoses that go to the when you're tipping off. So you'll hear any air leaks coming out of there. You might hear a slight hiss, but that's okay. But if you've got anything that's really large, then you've got an issue. One tower here, the pads are going, and the front lights are on. Indicators are good. No air at the moment, leakage is good. These are good. Look down this line here, you can also see what indicators are working. And that's good. So here we can do a radio check to make sure that your radio comes on. Check make sure the dash is all working. We know that there's no air leaks and that all the indicators are working as well. Next step is to do a checklist and a restart, and we'll go through that next. So this is a pre-start checklist for your truck and trailer. I'm going to show you how to fill one out. So this is, you do this after you have done your walk around and have checked the truck and trailers for any faults that may be there. So first off, you start off with just putting a name, then the time that you did the pre-start, and then the fleet number that you did it on, and the odometer reading that you would have taken. And then we also put down our hours of the truck. Then after that, we start ticking off all of the list here to make sure that they are all good. If they are all good, you do a tick. If they are not good, you put a cross, or if it's not relevant, just leave it blank. If any of these first one category faults come up, you do not operate the vehicle, contact your supervisor, and then from there he will contact the workshop, and then they will fix the problem before you take off. And fault 2 is good. Just make sure that, and make sure you check your fire extinguisher, make sure it's in date. And once you've done this and you feel that it's safe to go, you then can proceed on operating the vehicle or the machine. Some of these things might not be relevant, Obviously just leave them blank. And then when you're happy with that, sign at the very bottom, date it, and then you would tear out this top one and then submit it with the rest of your paperwork at the end of the shift. If you do have a category 1 fault, you'll then write out a work order or work request, and then you give it to the supervisor. The supervisor will then hand over it to the workshop supervisor and they'll get it fixed for you.